Rory Stewart, I mean, what can you say about him?
What can you say
just
about
a really weird guy who thinks for some reason that he's imbued with some incredible kind of knowledge about politics. He gets everything wrong.
Gets everything wrong, doesn't he?
Gets it all wrong.
With a sort of, because he does that sort of Professor Brian Cox thing. But Professor Brian Cox is presumably right about a lot of things.
I don't know about Professor Brian Cox. He's another one. He's another one that's blocked me. I mean, I've got a litany of these people who blocked me on Twitter. Cox blocked me because I think I asked him a question he didn't like.
Cock-blocked?
Yeah, cock-blocked. He didn't like the question, so he just blocked me. And I was just like, you know.
What questions were you asking him? Because he's talking about space and stuff.
Yeah, no, he's quite a Remainer though, so it would have been something to do with the European Union, you know. Because they don't like things. They don't like being challenged. They live in this bubble, right, where the only people they talk to are all talking about the same thing that they are. You know, I don't know if you saw Fraser Nelson this week doing his little monologue to camera. Well, no, I think he was on Times Radio, saying what a great country we live in and how, you know, people should. This is a new thing the left are doing. John Rentoul does it with me as well. You know, crime statistics are not what they are. They're actually, you know, there's a lot less crime now than there was. And you go, come on, guys. I mean, I've lived in London a long time. And I've never known it as bad as this, right? And
he was using these weird statistics, wasn't he? That sort of didn't count certain houses. And
but also they use, you know, polling. You know, when you ask people if they think it's more dangerous or less dangerous, they say it's less dangerous. And I'm like, well, I don't care about polls. It doesn't matter. You know, look at the number of arrests. Look at the number of shoplifting cases that are going on. Sexual assaults. You know, you've got on Oxford Street now, they've got a ribbon outside of some of the shops there saying, you know, don't let somebody grab your phone out of your hand. You know, it's actually written on the ground to tell people not to get their phones out. You know, it's you know, but this kind of trope that, you know, oh, it's only the right wing that is saying that the country's going to hell in a handcart. It's really not. You know, people's standard of living is better than it was. I mean, migration alone is completely screwing the cities of this country, you know?
Yeah. Have you met Rory Stewart?
I don't think so. I don't think I might have had him on in back in the day on College Green. I don't remember.
What about Emily Maitlis? Because I could not believe my ears when I heard her with Rupert Lowe just call him a racist because he didn't want more migration or something. I was flat. Did you see that?
Yeah. I did. In fact, Rupert Lowe got quite upset with me because I put a thing on Twitter saying, you know, sad to see you being interviewed by Emily Maitlis when you won't come on to talk. You know, why don't you come on and talk to us? You know,
I would say with Rupert, I feel bad because I know quite a lot of other podcasters and all of us and you guys and everyone are always messaging him all the time, asking him to come on. And it must just be like, I just can't. We
had him on actually not that long ago, and he was like, you haven't had me on for a while, because I think the trouble with Rupert is he thinks that there's a lot of conspiracies going all over the place, that he's being banned from things, you know, which he isn't. But I just thought, what a waste of time, you know. And his line was, well, you know, I wanted to reach a different audience. Well, why? You want to reach Emily Maitlis' audience, and that guy, Lewis Goodall, I mean, what a complete numpty he is. I mean, talk about these kind of ingenues that come out. I mean, he was a Labour, you know, spin doctor. He was a Labour apparatchik. He suddenly found himself now operating as a journalist. John Sopel, possibly the worst journalist of all time, another guy who wouldn't know a story if you fell on it. You know,
what makes him a bad journalist?
Because they've all come out of the BBC and they go, Andrew Marr's another one. You know, oh, now I can speak my mind because I'm not constrained any longer by the you know, the ropes of the BBC. And you go, yeah, but you don't know what you're doing because they've been sort of institutionalized in the BBC to think that, you know, European Union good, Brexit bad, you know, right wingers bad, you know, Labour good. You know, do you remember on election night, the amount of sort of rapturous praise that was going on? Andrew Marr, I think, went on Question Time and made a complete fool of himself. Talk about, you know, it's going to be so great having the grown-ups back in charge. It's going to be amazing. You know, suddenly we've got a proper government again without ever judging anything that they'd done. And now look where we are. And now they're all kind of slightly lost in this sea of confusion, because whenever I look at the newsagents, which I don't very often, but I see their tweets, you know, for a long time, they're not covering, for a long time, they just covered Trump. Yeah, because they thought that's easier for us
so easy
because he's evil, and so everybody thinks he's evil. So we'll just make fun of him, and we won't talk about the uselessness of this government. They never talked, I don't think, about Lord Ali, you know, which happened literally the first month that Labour were in charge. It turned out they were all getting free, getting freebies, free suits, free glasses, free trips to New York, free use of a penthouse. Still never been properly explained, right? We don't know why he got a Downing Street pass. We don't know what he was doing there. We don't know what the personal relationship is between him and Starmer. You know, people tried to talk to him at the Labour Party conference. He put his hand up to the camera and said, don't talk to me. You know, who the hell do these people think they are?
But that should be bread and butter for Emily Maitlis. That should be, this is what we're doing. We're going to do something that might piss off some of our own audience. Right. Let's take a risk.
They didn't touch it.
I couldn't believe it. And you're right, it's not just Trump, it's like Marjorie Greene Taylor or whatever, American.
Oh, yeah.
We can all go after sort of evangelical, far right, whatever. Like, it's shooting fish in a barrel.
Right.
91% watching Heretics clips are not subscribed. Quick favor, hit subscribe. Free, takes 2 seconds, and helps us question everything together.